Have you ever had just a brilliant idea for an app in the shower, only to completely give up on it 5 minutes later because you don't know the first thing about UI design? Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a tool that's literally changing the game for anyone who's ever lacked the technical chops to bring their vision to life. We are talking about Google Stitch, an incredible platform that takes you from a simple idea to a launched, working user interface faster than we've ever seen before. I want you to think about the traditional design process for just a second. You open up Figma or Adobe XD, and what are you staring at? A blank, totally intimidating canvas. And that blank canvas problem is exactly what Google Stitch is here to solve. It introduces this concept that industry experts are calling vibe design. So instead of manually dragging and dropping shapes for hours, you simply converse with an AI. You tell it the vibe, the layout, the features you want, like a dark mode crypto dashboard or modern fitness app, and it just generates a fully fleshed out UI right in front of your eyes. I've got to say, it feels pretty close to magic. So, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start by meeting your new AI design sidekick, look at the 2 different modes to build UI, walk through the exact idea to code workflow, compare Stitch directly against Figma, and wrap up with pricing, limits, and some quick fixes for common errors. All right, part 1, meet your AI design sidekick. Let's demystify what Google Stitch actually is. Essentially, Stitch takes that traditional manual design canvas and replaces it with an AI-native conversational workspace. It's built right inside Google Labs and powered by their advanced Gemini 2.5 models. You just give it natural language prompts, and it instantly renders realistic, highly editable interfaces. And here's the crazy part. It actually spits out the raw HTML and CSS for you in real time. So we're not just talking about a simple mock-up tool here. This is a fully functional prototyping engine built for founders, developers, and non-designers. Stitch is basically a massive shortcut. In a single prompt, you can generate up to 5 interconnected screens. And if you hate typing, no problem. Just use Voice Canvas to literally talk your design into existence and make live updates on the fly. You could even import your existing brand colors and fonts. But for sure, the real kicker here is that it exports production-ready React code. It completely bridges that dreaded gap between design and development in seconds. Moving right along to part 2, the 2 modes to build UI, standard versus experimental. So you've actually got 2 distinct engines running under the hood here. Standard mode is your text UI engine. It uses Gemini 2.5 Flash, so it is blazing fast and absolutely perfect for rapid brainstorming. But experimental mode, that's where things get truly wild. Powered by Gemini 2.5 Pro, this is your sketch to UI engine. You can literally take a smartphone photo of a messy, handwritten wireframe you drew on a coffee shop napkin, and the high-fidelity visual understanding of the Pro model will analyze that structure and convert it into a polished digital layout. It's wild. Okay, part 3, the idea to code workflow. Let's look at the practical, step-by-step guide. The actual workflow is incredibly fast, and it takes all the intimidation right out of UI design. Step 1, you just prompt or sketch. Step 2, you review the AI's first draft. Step 3, customize it. Chat with the AI, talk to it, or just make manual tweaks. And step 4, export. That's the whole shebang. You can iterate through half a dozen completely different design concepts in the exact same time it would normally take you just to set up your grid lines in traditional software. But listen, here is the absolute secret to success with this tool. Vague prompts get you generic results. The AI is only as good as the instructions you give it. So if you want a crypto dashboard, don't just type "make a crypto app." That won't cut it. Tell it to include a top navigation bar, a portfolio summary card, a pie chart for asset distribution, and a sleek, dark visual theme. The more structure you give it up front, the closer it gets to your exact vision on the very first try. Which brings us to part 4, the Stitch versus Figma comparison. It's a real David versus Goliath situation. When we compare the core philosophies of these 2 tools, a very clear divide emerges. Figma is an absolute powerhouse. It's best in class for team collaboration and managing those massive enterprise design systems. But you're building from scratch, and it costs money. Stitch, on the other hand, is the undisputed winner for instant AI-driven ideation. It is natively built from the ground up for AI generation, which lets solo creators move at lightning speed. And right now, at least, it is completely free. But let's do a quick reality check and keep our expectations grounded, all right? Stitch is undeniably magical, but it isn't perfect. For one, it really doesn't handle complex, state-based interactivity very well yet.
Also, if your hand-drawn sketch is a little too chaotic, experimental mode might just completely misunderstand your layout. And this is a big one. If you want to export your AI-generated design directly into Figma to polish it up later, you can currently only do that from standard mode, not experimental. So keep that in mind.
Finally, part 5, pricing, limits, and fixes. Everything you need to get started today. So right now, while this tool is incubating in Google Labs, the free tier is incredibly generous. You are getting a whopping 550 total generations every single month. To break that down, that's 350 rapid iterations in standard mode and 200 high-fidelity generations in pro mode. And when you remember that each generation can produce up to 5 interconnected screens at once, that is a massive, massive runway to build and test your ideas without spending a single dime. But you know how these things go. This totally free window is not going to last forever. We expect Spitch to exit the experimental Google Labs phase around Q4 of 2026. And when it does, paid plans will almost certainly roll out. We're anticipating aggressive pricing, probably around $10 to $15 a month to undercut Figma, and those massive free generation limits, yeah, they will almost certainly shrink. So what that means for you is that right now is absolutely the optimal time to jump in and take advantage of the platform. Now, if you rush to log in today and you hit the dreaded, sorry, Stitch is unavailable error, please don't panic. It happens all the time. Just run through this rapid-fire troubleshooting checklist. First, double-check that your Google account says you're over 18 and that your Workspace admin actually allows experimental apps. Second, force your Google account language and region specifically to US English. Third, and this usually does the trick, clear out your cached site data specifically for stitch.google.com and labs.google.com. Relaunch your browser fresh, maybe try incognito mode, and that usually gets you right in. I want to share a quote from Mind Studio that I think hits the nail on the head. The gap between I have an idea and I have something to show people collapses significantly. That perfectly captures the true empowerment here. Because Stitch isn't really about replacing professional designers, it's about unblocking non-designers. Whether you're a product manager, a solo developer, or an entrepreneur with a crazy idea, the friction of visualizing your concepts is just gone. You can literally go from a shower thought to a functional, coded prototype in a single afternoon. The tools are here, and the barrier to entry has quite literally never been lower. So I'm going to leave you with this. Now that you have an AI design sidekick capable of writing UI code and generating screens from nothing but a description, what are you going to build first? It is time to stop pushing pixels, start executing on your ideas, and let the AI handle the canvas. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I seriously can't wait to see what you all create.